Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. You know, as an avid gamer and a YouTube content creator, I'm constantly looking for the next big thing in video games. Games that are on the horizon from all these companies that people either know very little about or don't know about existing whatsoever. And during my time at San Diego Comic-Con, I got a chance to not only see a lot of these games in action, but play some of them. And today's video, I'm going to focus on the game that stood out the most to me during my time at San Diego Comic-Con. Was it Link's Awakening Remake? No. Luigi's Mansion 3? No. All these other magnificent games from all these game companies? No. It's a game called Net Catcher Netch, something I had never heard of in the past, but at the Nintendo Lounge at San Diego Comic-Con, the lines were out the door. I'm talking 20 to 30 people deep, waiting for their opportunity to play this crane game from Japan in hopes to winning real prizes. So what is Net Catcher Netch? It's a crane game. That much is known. But how does it work? Not like any crane game you've probably ever played before. Most of us are familiar with the typical crane game where you move the claw over, drop it down, pick up your prize, hopefully it's not rigged, and it will bring it over to the prize bin, drop it, and you win your prize. Ta-da! Crane game. Net Catcher Netch is more of a nudging your prize in the direction you want to nudge it in order for it to fall into one of the three holes around it, the left, the right, or in front of it. If you're able to nudge the prize and drop it into one of those holes, you win the actual prize and it gets shipped to you. Now, currently only available in Japan and select regions surrounding it. It's not something that's worldwide yet, so yes, you can download this on the Japanese eShop and see what it's like, but you won't be able to play it because it requires a Japanese address for winning anything that you drop into the hole. This is where it gets interesting though, because at San Diego Comic-Con, speaking to the Nintendo employees about this game, I was like, why is this here? It's a Japanese game. It's something that we don't play in America. It's not anything that anyone's even talking about. And he's like, it's actually planned to go worldwide. This is something they've been working on for a while now, and Nintendo brought it to San Diego Comic-Con to see what the interest was, gauge it, and see if this was something that the crowds would be interested in, and if it would be something that would be feasible to bring worldwide. And sure enough, these lines were out the door. I'm talking 20 to 30 people deep of waiting to get their chance to play Net Catcher Netch. And when you look around at the entire Nintendo Lounge, the Luigi's Mansion 3, Link's Awakening, Pokemon, everything Nintendo had available to be played in advance, there weren't any lines for any of those games. Net Catcher Netch had everyone waiting to play, and that blew me away. So much so that I had to wait in line to see what it was all about. Me and my wife stood there for about 25 minutes to get to the front of the line, have our chance to play it, and sure enough, win a prize eventually after a few tries with it. And the prize was just like a stupid little stuffed animal, but it was just the idea of playing this crane game to win a prize that was the lore, that was the draw, that brought everybody surrounding to see who was going to win. It had a very old school arcade feel to it where everyone was in line waiting to play, and then other people were gathered around and cheering, waiting for people to win the prizes. It had a very unique dynamic to it, something that the entire rest of the Nintendo Lounge and San Diego Comic-Con at large, when it came to video gaming, didn't really have. It was extremely unique. Net Catcher Netch is a real-life crane game that is available for online play 24 hours a day. One play costs the equivalent of about 100 yen, which roughly translates to $1 US, but it's not just paid to play. They also offer free plays every single day to get people to come back and play more often. The prizes that players win are sent to them free of charge. There is free shipping, no charge to anything people win, but like I said, it's only available in Japan, but eventually Nintendo plans on expanding this to be a worldwide release. And I feel like once this game does go worldwide, it's going to make a gigantic splash. It's a game that nobody's really talking about, and it's been available on mobile phones. Yeah, you can play these real-life gacha games, these real-life crane games on mobile phones and win real prizes with them, but a consoleized version of it doesn't really exist yet, and Nintendo making this move, bringing it to the Switch, making it almost like a real life loot box where you put real money in for a chance to win a prize. No guarantees involved with this. So it's a very old school arcade feel where, yeah, you can put money in and hopefully win something, but not guaranteed. And I touched on how Net Catcher Netch works. It's more nudging than grabbing, but in order to nudge it, you need to put the crane in the right spot, and it kind of just yanks it a little bit every single time. So even talking to one of the employees about how this works, he said it's basically impossible to win the prize. If it's dead center, if it's the first try that you've ever played and no one else has moved the prize, you can't win it on the first try. You can just nudge it a little bit. He did say nothing is impossible, but he also said he's never seen anyone come close to winning it on the first try. Because the way the crane works, it's not strong enough to lift the entire prize up and just move it. It just kind of catches it and yanks it. And you do that repetitively over and over again until eventually it nudges enough to drop into the hole for you to win the prize. As far as how this works, there's a big factory in Japan where they have these crane games all lined up and real human beings walking around putting the prizes, setting them up in the center, resetting everything if there's ever an issue. There's real people running this operation 24 hours a day, which is kind of wild. It's one of those things that I never really saw coming to fruition on a console, and because of that being so unique, I feel like it's going to have a major draw to a lot of people. As far as the release date for Net Catcher Netch worldwide is concerned, Nintendo employees didn't have any details surrounding that, but because it was available for play at San Diego Comic-Con, I would imagine it would be sometime, maybe late 2019, as like a surprise drop around Christmas time, just to get people interested in something different. A free-to-play game that gives you some free tries every day, and you can put extra money in to try to win the prizes that you've nudged along enough to the corner that you feel like you're gonna be able to win it. It's one of those things that everyone's going to probably try this just to see what it's like, but do keep in mind, because this is actually set up out of country in Japan, the factory itself, there's a little bit of a lag, there's a little bit of a delay, so when you're pressing the controller, you hold the button down to move it laterally, and then you let go of it for the claw to stop, and then it automatically switches the camera angle, and you press the button down again for it to move horizontally, and then when you lift that button up, it stops both dynamics so that it drops exactly where you let go of it. Except for that leg. So it takes a little bit of getting used to. There's like a half a second delay where when you let go of the button, it still moves a little bit, and gamers will pick up on that fairly quickly. It's not something that's game breaking or anything like that, but it's something to keep in mind while playing the game. It's not instantaneous like a computer game, something that's right in front of you. It's actually taking place overseas while you're pressing these buttons. It's legit, it's real, it's not rigged, but it's also not something that you're gonna win, like I said, on the first try. Definitely unique, definitely different, and because of that, this game stood out to me as the most interesting game at San Diego Comic-Con, and it's something that I truly feel like when it does release, if it's gonna be a surprise release to everybody, it's going to take the world by storm. Everyone's going to be checking this game out. Everyone's going to be talking about it. It's going to be a big deal. It'll probably be a fad. It's going to die down after that. But initially, keep your eye out for Net Catcher Netch, because honestly, it's very unique and worth a shot. That's all I got for you guys today, but I'd be very interested to hear what you guys think about Net Catcher Netch. If this is the kind of game that you'd be interested in trying once or twice to see if it's up your alley, or if you think these games are a waste of time and the crap you win from them is junk anyway, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing.
You're not trying to pick it up?
You're trying to get it to knock over.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah, a little bit, huh?
I was wondering what you were doing. Like, you're missing on purpose. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm trying to knock it off.
Now it makes sense. I just thought you were really bad at this.
Well, it might be a little bit of both.
No. Now I see what you're doing. Now it makes sense.
Yeah.